Hello everyone, my name's Will. I'm one of the advisors at Integra Financial, and today I'm going to be answering some common questions that first-time buyers have.
First of all, how do I find out how much I can borrow and how much monthly payments will cost?
Well, to give you a rough idea, you can borrow somewhere between 4 and 5 times your income. Now, a lot of first-time buyers will go to something like a comparison website, but these can be inaccurate. Alternatively, they'll go to someone like their bank, which is an obvious port of call. However, the negative to that is that that bank's only going to offer you their products and their criteria. So if you speak to an independent broker who's got access to the whole of the market, they're going to be able to look at every bank and every lender and give you a much more accurate and much broader range of what you can achieve. In terms of monthly cost, again, this will vary massively between lenders because their products are very different. So best thing to do is speak to, again, someone who's experienced for an accurate figure, or you can go online, get a rough idea from a comparison website or a mortgage calculator, but just bear in mind that will be a much more rough figure than speaking to someone.
How much fees are involved?
Okay, so there's a number of fees involved for first-time buyers or anyone purchasing a property. They're very important to consider because some of them can be quite large. Typically with the mortgage company, you're going to have a valuation fee. That could be £200, maybe £300. Some lenders offer them free, but again, it's worth checking. The big fee is the legal costs. So a solicitor will typically charge somewhere between £1,000 and £2,000. Again, that depends on which solicitor you use. And there may be a stamp duty cost depending on the purchase price of the property. Other fees from the mortgage company include a product or arrangement fee. Often they can be added to the loan, but you can pay them up front if you wish. And your broker may also charge you a fee as well if you're using one, so check with them. In terms of the other fees, I would take into consideration such as moving costs, if you're moving from one property to another and moving furniture. I would also then take into account the fees involved in furnishing the property once you've moved in. And something else we advise first-time buyers is once you've moved in, keep an emergency fund, and we recommend 6 months of salary. So make sure you keep that aside for a rainy day as well.
So how do I find the best mortgage deal?
Well, to answer it simply, come and speak to us or speak to someone else. But make sure you speak to someone who's got access to the whole of the market. If you speak with your bank, they're just going to offer the products that they offer. They may be good, they may be terrible, they may be somewhere in between. You can go on a comparison website, but again, these are not always the most accurate, and they're not going to take into account your eligibility and criteria of the lender. So if you do speak to a mortgage broker, make sure they're whole of market, make sure you feel comfortable with them and that you trust them, and that is my best advice.
What is an AIP and should I get one?
Okay, so an AIP is an agreement in principle. It can also be known as a DIP, which is a decision in principle. Now what this is a first part of an application with a lender. So it's going to be a very basic criteria check, very basic affordability check, and most importantly, a credit check. Now, most lenders are now doing what's called a soft credit check. So this actually wouldn't even appear on your credit file if you are concerned that it may impact that. It's going to give someone like an estate agent a lot of confidence and reassurance that you are a serious buyer and that you do qualify for that mortgage. So I would advise getting one, and we would be happy to arrange that for a first-time buyer so that they can go and view properties with that confidence and be taken seriously.
Once I'm happy with the costs and I have my AIP, what's next?
Okay, so you've got your agreement in principle. You're happy with what you can borrow, what you can afford in terms of property purchase, and what the costs are involved. So now you can go and make an offer on a property, negotiate with an estate agent, and come to an agreement on a price. At that point, you go back to your mortgage advisor or mortgage broker, and they will start the application process for you. Now, we at Integra understand as a first-time buyer, everything is new to you, and you can have many questions. So we will hold your hand throughout that whole process from start to finish to make it as stress-free as possible. We'll deal with the mortgage lender, the solicitor and the estate agent.
How long does the whole process take?
So this is a question that a lot of first-time buyers ask, and it's actually quite difficult to answer. I would say the quickest a house purchase can go through with a mortgage could be something like 1 to 2 months. But that then depends massively if there's a chain. Now, a chain would mean, for example, the person you're buying the property off is also looking to buy. So you have to wonder whether they found a property, and if they have found a property, is that person looking to buy? So it can take up to 6 months or even longer. But typically, I would say somewhere between 3 and 6 months on average. Well, thanks everyone. I hope you found that useful today. We've answered some of the main questions that first-time buyers have, but there are many other questions that you may have, so please feel free to get in touch. And if you did find the content useful, please like and subscribe, and there will be more to come. Thank you.